Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Max Makes Maths Easy. Today we are going to do another question on calculus. This question was a KCSE question. It was a KCSE 2024 question. Paper 1, I think. Yes, paper 1. The last question, number 24. Remember, KCSE paper 1 has two sections, section A and B. Section B requires you to do 5 questions out of 8. That is from question number 17 to number 24. Those are 7 questions. So there are 2 extra questions that can help you to score very good in mathematics. So that's an added advantage. So today we are going to do a question that awards you 10 marks. So the question reads, the gradient of the curve y is equals to x cubed plus 5x squared plus px minus 18 at x is equals to 1 is negative 15. So part A we are told to find, and Roman 1 of part A says to find the value of p. Roman 2 asks us for the equation of the normal to the tangent to the curve at x is equal to negative 1. And the last question, which has 4 marks, wants us to find the coordinates of the turning points of the curve. The coordinates of the turning points of the curve. So we are going to begin from our first question, which reads the value of p. So we are told the gradient of the curve y is equals to x cubed plus 5x squared plus px minus 18 at x is equals to negative 1 is negative 15. So remember, if you are given an equation y is equals to p, then the gradient is the derivative of y. So it is the same as p, the derivative of p. Remember, the derivative of y can be written as dy with respect to x. So it is the same as this one. So if you want to find the value of p, we will do the derivative of y. Then at x is equals to negative 1, the derivative is negative 15. So we are going to say y is equals to x cubed plus 5x squared plus px minus 18. So if we do dy dx, we shall get dx cubed plus 5x squared plus px minus 18 with respect to x. Then at x is equals to 1, this value will give us negative 15. Remember, you should know to find the derivative. So the derivative is done like this. So I told you multiply 3 with the coefficient, which is 1, so it will be 3x. Then we reduce the power by 1, that will be 3x squared. Then we add 5 multiplied by 2, it's 10. Then we reduce the power by 1. Then here it's 1. So we multiply, so it will be p. Then we reduce the power by 1, so it will be 1 minus 1, that is 0. But remember, any number raised to power 0 is just 1, so it will be 3x squared plus 10x plus p. Then we are told at x is equals to negative 1, dy over dx is equals to negative 15. So we are going to equate negative 1 to our derivative, so it will be 3 into negative 1 squared plus 10 into negative 1 plus p, then it will be equal to negative 15. So it will be 3 negative 1 square, that is just 1, so it will be 3 plus negative 10 plus p, 3 plus negative 10 plus p. So here 3 plus minus 10, it will be negative 7 plus p, then it will be equal to negative 15. So our p is equals to negative 15 then plus 7. So negative 15 then plus 7. So our p is equal to negative 8. Hope you have understood. I have said you find the derivative of the y, then at x is equals to negative 1, the derivative is negative 15, so that you can be able to find the value of p. So the question reads, the next question reads, the equation of the normal to the tangent to the curve at x is equal to negative 1. So remember, normal to the tangent to the curve at x is equal to negative 1. So what are we supposed to do here? So at x is equals to negative 1, we must find the value of y, the equation of the normal to the tangent to the curve. We are told to the curve and not to the gradient of the curve, to the curve. So to the curve at x is equal, the curve is y is equals to x cubed plus 5x squared plus px minus 18. So we have found the value of p. So the curve is x cubed plus 5x squared. Since p is negative 8, so it will be negative 8x minus 18. So we are going to find the value of y at x is equals to negative 1. So the value of y is equals to, at x is equals to negative 1, it will be negative 1 cubed plus 5 into negative 1 squared minus 8 into negative 1, then minus 18. That will be negative 1 plus 5 plus 8, then minus 18. So it will be negative 1 plus 5 plus 8 minus 18. That will be negative 6. So our y is equals to negative 6. So the point is, the point of the curve, the point at the curve is x is equals to negative 1 and y is equals to negative 1. So the point is negative 1, then negative 6, then negative 6. So remember again, we are told the gradient of the curve y is equals to this curve at x is equals to negative 1 is negative 15. So if we want to find the equation of the normal to the tangent, remember we have the gradient of the curve as negative 15, and we are told to find the normal, the equation of the normal. What do we have to find the equation of the normal? We have y, we have a point xy, another point which is negative 1, negative 6. Then we should know the gradient of the normal. Remember what we said in form 2. Form 2, perpendicular lines, when the first, these are perpendicular lines. So if this line 1 has the gradient m1 and this line 2 has the gradient m2, we said m1 times m2 is equal to negative 1 is equal to negative 1. So, and we know the gradient of the first line is negative 15. So times m2, we must be able to get negative 1. So m2 is equals to negative 1 times the reciprocal of this is 1 over negative 15. m2 will be 1 over 15. That is sufficient information to find the equation of the normal to the tangent to the curve at x is equal to negative 1. So what do we say? We say to find the gradient, the gradient is got by saying change in y all over change in x, or gradient can be said as a slope, that is the slope of the line. So what do we have? We have to find the equation, we have the slope, which is a 1 over 15. Then change in y, we will take this point y, then we minus the y here, so it will be minus 6. Then we take the point x, then minus 1. That one will be 1 over 15 is equals to y plus 6, x plus 1. So the equation is equal to, we ought to give our equation in the form y is equals to mx plus c, where m is the gradient. So our equation becomes 15 into y plus 6 is equals to x plus 1. So our equation becomes 15 y plus 15 times 6, that is 90, is equals to x plus 1. So our equation becomes 15y is equals to x plus 1 minus 90. 1 minus 90, that is minus 89. So it will be 15y is equals to x minus 89. So our equation becomes y is equals to x over 15 minus 89 over 15. Remember we said this is the gradient. You can see here our gradient is 1 over 15. So our equation is our equation of the normal to the tangent to the curve at x is equal to negative 1 is this one. Hope you have followed, and that is our answer. That is our answer. So we are told to find the coordinates of the turning point. Remember at the turning point, that this is an NB. At the turning point, dy over dx is equal to 0. At the turning point, dy over dx is equal to 0. This is an NB. That is an NB. So what do we have as our dy over dx? Remember we found our dy over dx as 3x squared plus 10x plus p here. So dy is equals to 3x squared plus 10x plus p, and we found our p as negative 8. So our dy over dx is equals to 3x squared plus 10x minus 8, since our p is minus 8. And remember we have said at the turning points dy over dx is equals to 0. So we say 3x squared plus 10x minus 8 is equal to 0. So what are we going to do next? We're going to find the value of x. We are going to use the quadratic formula to find the values of x. So the quadratic formula says x is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 multiplied by the coefficient of x squared, which is a. So what do we have as our b? So we are told then x becomes minus b. So minus b, since our b is positive, it will retain its negative nature, negative 10 plus or minus the square root of b squared, that will be 100 minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 8, divided by 2 multiplied by the coefficient of x squared, which is 3. Then it will be negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 100 minus 100 minus 4 times 3 times minus 8, that will be minus 96 over 6, that will be 100 minus 4 times 3 times minus 8, that is 196. That becomes minus 10 plus or minus square root of 196 over 6, and this becomes minus 10 plus or minus 13 over 6, and our x becomes minus 10 plus 13 over 6, or minus 10 minus 13 over 6, and this becomes minus 10 plus 13. Oh, sorry, 196. We said 196. Let's see. The square root of 196, that is 14. Sorry for that. This is 14. That is minus 10 plus 14 divided by 6. This becomes 2 all over 3, or minus 10 minus 14 divided by 6, that is minus 4. So we have found the coordinates, we have found the turning point. The turning point consists of x when x is equals to 2 over 3 and x is equals to negative 4. So when x is equals to 2 over 3, when x is equals to 2 over 3, we are ought to find the value of I at the curve minus 8x minus 18. So y will be 2 over 3 cubed plus 5 into 2 over 3 squared minus 8 into 2 over 3 minus 18. So that will be 2 over 3 cubed, that will be 8, 3 cubed, that is 27, plus 5 into 2 square, that is 4, over 3 square, that is 9, minus 8 into 2 over 3 minus 18, that is equals to 8 over 27 plus 20 over 9 minus 16 over 3 minus 18. So that will be 8 over 27 plus 20 over 9 minus 16 over 3 minus 18. That is minus, confirm, that is minus 20, 22 all over 27. So our first turning point is when x is equals to 2 over 3 and it is negative 20, 22 all over 27. So when x is equals to negative 4, what do we find our y? Our y is x cubed plus 5x squared minus 8x minus 18. So it will be negative 4 cubed plus 5 into negative 4 squared minus 8 into negative 4 minus 18. Negative 4 cubed, that is negative 4 cubed, that is minus 64, plus 16 times 5, that is 18, minus, that will be plus 32 minus 18. So minus 64 plus 80 plus 32 minus 18, y is equals to 30. So it is negative 4, 30. So our coordinates are 2 over 3, negative 20, 22 over 27, or negative 4, 30. Remember, we can be told to find if the point is maximum or minimum. So when y is a negative 20, when y is a negative number, that point is said to be a minimum point. But when x is a positive, that point is said to be a maximum point. So I hope you have understood, and thank you very much for following. And that is how we grab a full 10 marks on calculus. Thank you very much, and welcome to Max Makes Maths Easy.